So I'm Jules Baldock, and I'm the head of digital delivery for Kingfisher. So about 2.5 years ago, I was about to leave Kingfisher. I've been working in Screwfix for about the last 10 years. And I was about to leave Kingfisher. My boss went, "You don't fancy a job in London, do you?" No, it's a bit of a far-fetched job, but why not? Ask you. "Oh yeah, go on, what do you want me to do?" And he went, "We want a Kingfisher hub." All right then, well, these digital things, right? Done a few websites, it's all right. And he went, "Yeah. How far can you take it?" It's like, now that's a challenge. All right, so this is the challenge. So I'm going to go through a few slides tonight, and I'm very happy to cut it short or take questions and answers on the way through. Very happy to make it as interactive as you want it. I'll be around afterwards as well. So I'm going to take you on a little journey that Kingfisher have been on. And I'm going to start off with, who the hell are Kingfisher? Right, Kingfisher is a company, it's a parent company, so nobody knows who they are apart from the beer or the aircraft, but other than that. we own B&Q and Screwfix in the UK, so that's one of ours. We own Brico Depot in Spain and Portugal, and we own Castorama in, where are we, France, Germany, Poland, Russia, I'm going to get it wrong now, aren't I? Kostas down at the bottom as well. So lots of companies over lots of territories. Okay.
Can you use the mic?
Is that better? Yeah, that's better. We get some nods on the back. Okay, so Kingfisher, loads of companies, loads of different operating systems, loads of everything. So the Kingfisher mission is to bring them all together. One Kingfisher. So Vero joined about 3 years ago now, and she said, right, rather than having competing companies, all with their own individual systems, what we're going to do is buy the same products from the same suppliers and sell them to our customers European-wide. Genius, right? In order to do that, we need systems that support that. Fairly simple, right? Easy. So, what do they choose? SAP, right? Okay, get over that bit. So, the hard bit's done. I don't touch that stuff, so that's just below the service bus as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about it. Submarine stuff. So SAP is now rolled out across, I'm going to say 3/4 of that. We haven't quite got to Romania or Russia yet, but SAP is rolled out to all of those. What we're now doing is rolling over the top of that the new digital template, which, as digital goes, just keeps changing, because I keep changing my mind. So, what we had to do, sorry, I'm going to come back to SAFE and all the rest of it. What we had to do was create a digital team who are currently about 600 people strong, okay? And what we needed to do was work out a way that we were going to organise this lot, because currently they were using Waterfall to plan all this out. We did the plans, and instead of 2021 or 2018, as Vera would like, it came out as 2029. So we had to change something. So my job, setting up this place here, was not only to have a little look at innovation, but was also to work out how the hell we were going to create a model that we could roll out across 600 people in 4 or 5 different locations to roll systems out to all of those previous territories, those 11 territories. Okay? That was the challenge we were set. So, let's start off with why we chose SAFE. Firstly, we could make something up. Of course we could. But you can't train made-up stuff. This thing comes out of the box. You can train it, there's a program, it's a fairly easy start for 10. It's proven in fairly large enterprises, so if it works for them, let's see if it's going to work for us. Training materials are easy, they're printed for you, you buy them, it's alright, you can do that. So go and get something that's already laid out for you, and if you need to tweak it around the edges, that's alright. But if you can train something to get everybody on the same page at the same time, that's a pretty good accelerator. And finally, there are people out there who have resources and, who have experience and qualifications to train this stuff. So you can get it going pretty quickly at scale. So, sorry, this is what I thought was the first slide, that's what I was caught out. So we decided to test and learn. We didn't go straight into SAFE. SAFE was not the answer when we started this journey. We started off knowing we needed to be agile. That's all we knew. So we started off with an agile team in a very small office above a Screwfix up in King's Cross. It wasn't the most salubrious of places, I can tell you. We then grew to 3 teams and worked out we needed our own little space. So we found a little space, and weirdly, when we sat them all in the same office, they started talking to each other. And they started joining stuff together for us. Now I didn't have to tell them to do that, they just did it. Now that was brilliant. That's normal. That's agile, and that's just people. That's what they do. But as we got to 6 teams, that got a bit stretched. They started not talking to each other. Weirdly, because the office had got a bit bigger, they started to go into their own teams and not talking to each other at all. So at that point, we needed to work it out. We needed to work out dependencies between the teams. We needed to work out what they were each doing every reasonable length of time. We need to keep them on track. So we had a look around, and we went for safe, for the reasons I've just mentioned above. And then we grew that. We grew that to 10 agile teams. So we've now got 100, 150 people working this building, all agile, and 2 trains in 2 agile release trains. What we then worked out was actually we got one that side of the building and one that side of the building. And guess what? They don't talk. They're there. Come on, seriously. So, if you have a little look at this office layout, it's all about creating space where people communicate. The coffee is in one spot down there. And so people meet at the coffee machine. What a surprise. We have benches and tables and breakout spaces. Our meeting rooms, some of them don't have desks in them. Wow, that was a bit revolutionary when some of the people from HQ came along. What do I do in this space? They stood there looking around, trying to work out what they're going to do with this computer thing. My desk is the sofa at the other end of this corridor. I don't need a desk. Why put me on a desk? I'm not there most of the day. I sit on a sofa with a laptop. It's all fine. So it's all about creating collisions. It's all about creating people's interactions with each other. Because I used to smoke a long, long time ago, and my God, the amount of things that I found about projects on smoking breaks were just unreal. £800,000 is my record, by the way, founding on a fag break. It was awesome. It was a great day. So that's what we tried to create. That is just an environment. You do not get culture from an environment. Got some pretty plants, by the way. Looks nice, right? So then we went, okay, so if we can get this working in one building, how do we get it working across multi-site? And it was only in November 17 we thought we had the courage, I'm going to use the word courage, to try that. So we tried setting up a Yeovil release train. Now Yeovil's my old office, so they're pretty decent at Agile, they understand this. So we've got a release train set up in Yeovil. Now there's a little added complexity here, because Yeovil work with a load of nearshore guys in the Ukraine. Okay, so now we're doing distributed Agile in release trains across not 2 but 3 locations. Okay, that's interesting. So we brought them all up to London, all the Yovilites, and we had the first PI session with them. Now the first few PI sessions for us were a complete nightmare. They're the usual, oh my God, it's chaos. Actually, it's always chaos.
What's a release train?
Sorry, a release train. A release train is a group of between 5 and 9 Agile Scrum teams who work together to deliver a value proposition. So, for example, search and browse on a website have a release train that does that. They have end-to-end responsibility. So they can communicate really well between themselves, but across the release trains, so search and browse and checkout, for example, we need to work out dependencies, we need to work out what the vision is, what's the customer experience across those, and there's a lot of interactions and interdependencies. Now, obviously, the best way of doing this stuff is to organise yourselves by value streams, okay? Don't know if anybody else is on the safe stuff, but value streams is basically a customer journey or a business process. End-to-end ownership of that is really important. Then you can ask them to do something and they have complete control about achieving that objective. That's really key in this. So we had Yeovil. Now Yeovil are doing our commerce tools. So search, that's the Deca search we got in there, we've got the CMS tool in there, we've got the marketing analytics tools in there. So they do all the tools, but the guys do all the front end in London. So they have to be absolutely talking to each other. So this release train process started to work. Okay, that's quite interesting. Now Southampton is our B&Q head office and has got a very large delivery function down there, and they've been waterfall for a very long time. So that's a bit of a different question. Now actually, about 2 or 3 years ago, they started to go Agile. But Agile without coaching. And if people know what Agile is without coaching, it's quite hard, right? It's quite hard to be true to Agile. Breaking down technical stories. No, it's a technical story. Can't possibly be a user story. Okay, all of that stuff is still a little young, shall we say, in Southampton. So we put them on a release train. And we've got a release train engineer who is on site coaching them all the time. They have scrum masters who know how to do this stuff. Now, what we've done is instead of bringing Yeovil to London to plan with us, we've taken 2 of our release trains and sent them down to Southampton to plan, so that Southampton can understand the chaos that is PI planning and understand that it's normal. We don't have many dependencies between the London and Southampton team, but they do have lots of technical stuff like hardware and our automated build guys. They're quite important, the security guys. So we brought them together. Next PI, in September, we'll be splitting out into 4 different release trains in 3 different locations. Just a quick note on our offshore guys, nearshore and offshore, sorry I get told off for that all the time. What we do with those guys is we will bring 1 or 2 of the seniors across. They represent their teams in PI. I completely appreciate, for the purists, we would love to bring all of them across. The bill runs into the hundreds of thousands of pounds if we do that. I cannot do that 4 times a year, it is just not practical. So, what can we do? Well, we can broadcast all the speeches at the beginning of PI. We can give them all the plans at the start. We can inform them what's going on. And actually, we've got these in every office. So if you don't know what these are, this is a touchscreen laptop. All right? It's got Skype on it. It's got everything on it. We just Skype on this all day. So we've got a screen open to the Ukraine. We've got a screen open to India. We've got a screen open to Yeovil. We've got a screen open to London. You walk up to this machine, and you just tap on it. It rings a little bell at this end, and we wander over and have a little chat. Because this stuff allows it to be easy these days, so we can do distributed agile, distribute safe. I've covered quite a lot of this. Our teams weren't bad at agile. I'm going to start there, okay? Nobody is great at agile, not even some of our best teams are great at all aspects of agile. But our teams are okay. So they've started the journey. We've also got senior sponsorship for this stuff, so it's a little easier. Launching safe, yeah, okay, a couple of the pitfalls. We are asking the business to make concrete decisions on the direction that they want the teams to go in every 3 months with a deadline of PI. That's really difficult. It's really, really hard. The direction, the vision is understood. But when we start coming back with, right, so we need a decision on social logon because we now need to work out the solution for that. Ready for 3 weeks' time. Can I have a decision, please? And they look at us and go, but how much does it cost? £400,000. Do you want to do it, yes or no? Hang on a minute. I'm not sure about that. Just a minute. Can we come back to you? Yeah, no worries. You've got a week. It's really hard. Interestingly, the business direction of replanning every 3 months is one of the hardest obstacles that we come up with every time. It's much easier on the longer term projects where you know what you're doing than the teams are replanning, where the product owners and the product managers are really close to the teams. They know what they're doing. When you're doing innovation or when large questions come up, that gets us every time. So look out for them, acknowledge they're there, and deal with them early. Agile and safe does not mean leaving everything to the last minute, I know. It means being able to flex and change. It doesn't mean not understanding your dependencies, not understanding your plan, not understanding your solutions architecture. All really important things. First PI, chaos. Always is. Don't worry about it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Okay, so location we've talked about. Business initiatives. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll have to take this back to the board. That was the first few comments. Yeah, when's the board? Oh, there's not one till another month. Good luck with that. We'll be starting next week. Which way do you want us to go? Yeah, left or right? It's expensive. We talked about PI. Be practical. Be practical. Depending on the size of your team, I know the Agile purists will not like this. Depending on the size of your team, you have to keep people in slightly separate locations. How do you deal with that? You reduce the dependencies. Really simple stuff. If you look at a website, there is one button that means I can split 200 people across a website, and it's the Add to Basket button. Anything on the left-hand side of that is search and browse. Anything on the right-hand side of that is checkout. It's got complicated stuff on the checkout, But there's one dependency, one piece of the customer journey, no matter where you put it across the website, the add to basket button, one interface. So your dependencies are completely and utterly reduced. That's how you split your trains. Opportunities, huge amounts of comms. The guys love it, absolutely love it. After PI, the energy is incredible. By the way, PI is knackering. If any of you haven't done it, it's hard bloody work. It is not a piss up on the night after day one. You come out after day two and you're knackered. That's well worth it. The next week, the guys come back in and they're ready to go. It's awesome. A little bit of culture stuff. A little bit of culture. This is an interesting quote. In organizational change, culture comes last. First, you have to teach people that they need to change. And then you can start to change. Culture doesn't just happen, especially in existing organizations. I had the luckiest day of my life when I was offered this place, because I created my own team from scratch. So I didn't have any organizational change because I built the organization with the culture, with the process in place. And then it was about picking the right people to be nice to each other. It's no good just being good at your job. I want you to be good at the person's next to your job and the other person next to you. And by the way, then I want you to give 2 things back to the community. I don't care what it is. If you're social, you can organize beers. If you're not sociable, you can help people on their technical stuff. I don't mind, but you have to give 2 things back to the community and you have to be good at the job either side of you. That's key, and that's what we've recruited. And that was easy to build the culture. Some of the other sites, not quite so easy, because we've got to do organizational change. 5 minutes left. Interacting with teams outside the trains. People are interested in this. Really difficult, guys. Face into it. Not everybody in the world is going to go safe or agile. My business won't, and neither will the SAP guys. Unlucky. But actually, I can bring enough people from the business into my release train to deal with the business problem. I can't do that with SAP. I don't want to talk to them, let alone think about it. So you put the service bus in there, right? So how do you interact with a waterfall program when you're running safe and agile? Guys, it's just the planning. Agile is not anything special. It doesn't mean you don't plan. We've got milestones. Actually, we can update those milestones every quarter. Actually, I can tell you that I hit 80% of my milestones every 3 months. Wow. What project can tell you that information? Very few that I've ever run, let alone the ones of SAP are running right now. We are more accurate than in delivery in any other project in the whole of Kingfisher. Now, what does that mean? That means our business can bank the cash. When I say I'm going to deliver search with a 2.5% uplift to B&Q in December of this year, they go, how confident are you in that then? Well, I'm about 50% right now because we're 6 months out, but in 2 months' time I'll be 80% confident. Is that good enough for you? And they're like, yeah, okay, I'll plan for that. So we bake it into our numbers. So as Bezos, I think it was, says, what's your sales like last month? I don't care, I'm worrying about next 2 years. I banked those 2 years ago. Today's sales are irrelevant. That's what it's all about, predictability. What else are we going to, I'm going to skip that slide. Right, where next? What improvements do we need to make? A lot. Seriously, we've been doing this for what, 2.5 years? We've still got a long way to go. We did a maturity assessment across the group recently, across all our agile trains. Wow, that's a bit scary. Okay, I thought we were better than that. So let's face into it, understand it. Do not hide from the truth, be honest. It's really, really hard, but that's the way to do it. Then you can improve. So we need to restructure our trains a bit. We got it a little bit wrong. That's fine. In a few months' time, we'll restructure them again. It'll be okay. We'll correct that little bit of wrongness. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Some of them are getting too big. My God, they are. They're getting too big. So we need to work out how to break down these trains into slightly smaller trains. That's okay. Where's the dependency? Where's the business process? Go back to your value streams. Work out your basics, and you can go wrong. You'll always get it wrong is my answer. Always get it wrong. Don't be afraid to tweak it. Focus on requirements. Again, our board of directors are the worst nightmare, right? Give us a direction and we'll go there. Yeah, we'll take a few months to get to that one. Which solution should we choose? Yeah, come back to me in 2 months. No, guys, we've got to go faster than this. Faster than this. Faster. Hard, really hard. And consistency, we all work in Agile. We all work in Safe. But we have so many inconsistent practices, from modular design through to pair programming and unit testing across the 3 sites, and those are just the XP ones. It's really hard. This is 600 people we're trying to get working the same way. It's interesting. Okay. Safe does not solve all your problems. Just be really clear about that. Agile and Safe does not solve all of your problems, not by a long shot. Working with remote teams is still hard. It's still really difficult. Skype's getting better, Teams is getting better, interactions are getting better. Some of the kids that I work with, they grow up on Skype. There is nothing wrong with creating relationships and having personal relationships across Skype. That is fine. They have cups of tea together. They have beer Thursdays together. It's fine, but it's still a challenge. Comms, meeting room, bookings, workspaces, they're still hard. We don't have many meeting rooms here. We have lots of breakout space. Lots and lots. The only people who get meeting rooms are large groups, and if you're properly in a confidential conversation. Other than that, you're asked to leave a meeting room. Very simple. Give them breakout space, create the behaviors. Agile team practices, we've talked about that. And continuous delivery, you can always improve this. We're now down to weekly deployments. We don't touch it at all, apart from a press of a button from deploy into CI. That goes all the way through the pipeline now, from CI to performance testing, security, all the rest of it, automatically. It stops just before it goes live. It gives us a green signal, but we want to sign the paperwork off at the moment. Our teams are still not comfortable signing off that paperwork and allowing it to go to automated. But then all they've done is sign the paperwork, we push the button, it carries on to live. Really, really important if you can get it. It's a big investment for legacy systems. It's a lot easier on AWS. Sorry, other cloud providers are available. Benefits, loads of them.